Older men have gotten smart about avoiding romantic entanglements. You see the red flags, you know the games, you protect yourself from dating disasters. But you know where you're completely unguarded? Female friendships. Because friendship sounds harmless, right? No romance, no sex, no complications, just companionship. Except women have figured out that the back door is wide open. Friendship bypasses every defense you built against relationships, and certain types of women are exploiting that ruthlessly. Look, most female friendships are fine, healthy, valuable even, but the wrong type? They'll drain your bank account, destroy your peace, and wreck your reputation while you sit there thinking, but we're just friends. So I'm going to show you exactly which types to avoid, why they're dangerous, and what healthy female friendship actually looks like. Because at this age, your peace is more valuable than gold, and certain women will steal it while calling themselves your friend. First type, and this one's everywhere, the emotional leech. She uses you as her unpaid therapist. Every conversation becomes her problems, her struggles, her pain, her trauma. You're her listener, her counselor, her emotional trash can, her stress outlet. And every single time you talk to her, you leave feeling drained, heavy, mentally exhausted, because she's downloading her emotional weight directly into your life, and you're carrying it for her. Plus, here's the worst part. She rarely, if ever, listens to your problems. It's always about her, always her crisis, always her pain. This isn't friendship. This is her using you as an emotional support animal, and it destroys your peace, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. But at least that one's obvious once you notice the pattern. This next type is much sneakier, the financial drainer. She never asks for money directly because that would be too obvious. Instead, she just talks about her hardship constantly, mentions money stress casually, brings up emergencies in conversation, complains about bills she can't pay. And then she waits. Waits for your conscience to do the work for her. So eventually you offer to help because you're a good person who doesn't want to see someone struggle. And the moment you do, she's got you. Oh, I didn't even ask. You offered. That's manipulation. That's the setup. And once money enters the friendship, respect leaves permanently. This type slowly normalizes borrowing from you, builds entitlement to your resources, and turns what you thought was friendship into financial obligation. You become her backup ATM, and she stops seeing you as a friend and starts seeing you as a resource to tap whenever she needs it. Now, here's where it gets psychologically dangerous. The guilt engineer. She weaponizes sad stories, emotional pain, helplessness, and victim narratives. Not to actually seek help or solutions, but specifically to trigger your savior instinct. She wants you feeling responsible for her well-being, guilty for saying no to anything she wants, bad for protecting yourself or setting any boundaries. And it works because she's training you over time to ignore your own boundaries. Prioritize her comfort over your peace and feel obligated to rescue her from problems she creates or exaggerates. This is psychological control, disguised as vulnerability. And the more you try to help, the more helpless she becomes because your help is exactly what she's addicted to. Plus, she connects directly to the next type, and this one messes with your head. The boundary eraser. She overshares intimate details about her life, discusses her sex life with you, talks badly about other men to make you feel special by comparison, flirts lightly enough to be deniable, touches you casually in ways that create subtle intimacy. What she's doing is creating emotional intimacy and romantica-adjacent connection without any commitment or relationship. And this leads to confusion on your part, emotional attachment you didn't plan for, and subconscious obligation to her, even though you're just friends. Even without sex or official romance, emotional entanglement forms, and that's incredibly dangerous because you start making decisions based on feelings you shouldn't have for someone who's supposedly just a friend. But wait, it gets worse with this next type, the crisis generator. Her life is always falling apart, always on the edge, always in chaos, always in emergency mode. So she constantly needs your help, your advice, your rescue, your support, your time, your attention, your resources, and you become her backup plan, her safety net, her emergency fund, her stability source. That's not friendship, that's dependency disguised as connection. She's not your friend, you're her insurance policy. The person she calls when everything goes wrong because she structured her entire life around the assumption that you'll fix it. And the chaos never ends, because if her life stabilized, she wouldn't need you anymore. And then what would she use to keep you engaged? Now here's the type that can actually destroy you socially. The reputation risk. She gossips about everyone, including you. She overshares private conversations publicly. She twists stories to make herself look better or you look worse. She misunderstands situations in ways that benefit her narrative. And here's the danger. A single emotional misunderstanding with this type can damage your reputation permanently, create rumors in your social circle, cause you profound social embarrassment, and put you in unnecessary conflict with people who believe her version of events. At 60 plus, your reputation is protection. It's social capital you've built over decades. And this type of woman can destroy it with one emotional conversation twisted the wrong way. One, he said, something that made me uncomfortable, story. One misrepresentation of your intentions. You think you're safe because you're just friends. You're not. You're one misunderstanding away from being the villain in her story. And finally, the type that's easiest to spot but hardest to escape once you're in it. The energy vampire. Every single interaction with her leaves you tired, irritated, drained, restless, unsettled. You can't quite explain why, but after spending time with her, you feel worse than before. Your energy is gone. Your mood is darker. Your peace is disturbed because she's feeding on your emotional and mental energy to sustain herself. And you're the resource she's draining at this age. Peace is your most valuable currency. Your inner calm is what allows you to enjoy whatever years you have left. And anyone who consistently disturbs that calm is a direct threat to your quality of life, regardless of whether they're a friend, a lover, or family. Now, here's the brutal truth. Most men won't admit, and I'm a woman, so I can say this plainly. Many women don't actually want friendship from older men. They don't want romance either. They want stability, emotional labor, financial backup, security, and friendship is simply the most socially acceptable way to access those things from you without the obligations of a relationship. She gets your time, your money, your energy, your emotional support, your resources. You get the title of friend and the privilege of being used. That's the transaction whether she's conscious of it or not. And here's what this actually cost you at this stage of life. Not sex. You're not pursuing that anyway. Not romance. You're done with that. But your time, which is finite and running out. Your energy, which is limited and precious. Your mental peace, which is irreplaceable. Your emotional stability, which took you decades to build. Your financial resources, which you need for your own security and retirement. These things are finite now. You don't have unlimited time or energy or money to waste on people who drain you. Every hour you give to a toxic friendship is an hour you're not spending on actual peace, actual joy, actual fulfillment. So here's the golden rule of safe female friendship at this age. If she does not add peace to your life, respect your boundaries consistently. Maintain her own independence without leaning on you, and offer genuine emotional balance where you both give and receive. Then she adds risk, not value. Period. That's the standard. Anything less is a threat to your well-being. Now, what does healthy female friendship actually look like? So, you know what to look for versus what to avoid. Healthy female friendship has no money talk ever. No trauma dumping where you become her therapist. No emotional pressure or guilt trips. No dependency on you for her stability. Clear, respected boundaries that she maintains without you having to enforce them constantly. Mutual support, where she listens to you as much as you listen to her. And light, positive interactions that leave you feeling better, not worse. If a female friendship doesn't meet these standards, it's not a friendship. It's exploitation with a friendly label. Here's the cold, hard reality about why men fall into these traps. Loneliness makes you vulnerable to anyone offering companionship. Kindness makes you careless about protecting yourself. Compassion makes you exploitable by people who recognize it and use it strategically. And women who sense these vulnerabilities will use them consciously or unconsciously to get what they need from you. You're not a bad person for being lonely, kind, or compassionate, but you need to understand that these qualities make you a target for certain types of women who see you as a resource rather than a person. So, what do you actually do with this information? First, audit your current female friendships honestly. Which ones leave you feeling drained? Which ones always involve money somehow? Which ones are always in crisis mode? Which ones make you feel obligated instead of appreciated? Those are the ones you need to distance yourself from or end entirely. Second, set ironclad boundaries with any new female friendships. No lending money. No being the emotional support system. No getting pulled into crisis after crisis. If she can't respect those boundaries immediately, she's showing you exactly who she is. Believe her and walk away. Third, prioritize your own peace above being nice or helpful or compassionate. Your peace matters more than her comfort. Your stability matters more than her crisis. Your well-being matters more than her opinion of you. You've spent decades putting other people first. It's time to put yourself first unapologetically. And I share exactly how to do that in our weekly newsletter. How to prioritize your own well-being without guilt. How to set boundaries that actually protect you. How to build a life so fulfilling that toxic people naturally repel away from it because there's nothing for them to extract from you. Raw, honest strategies for putting yourself first when the world tells you that's selfish. It's not selfish, it's survival. Links in the description and pinned in the comments. Look, female friendships can be beautiful, valuable, enriching parts of your life, but only if they're actual friendships built on mutual respect and genuine care. If they're one-sided extractions disguised as connection, they'll destroy your peace, drain your resources, and leave you wondering how someone you trusted could take so much from you. The man who protects his peace ruthlessly enjoys whatever years he has left. The man who lets toxic people drain him suffers unnecessarily while calling it friendship. And if you love this video, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss these conversations every week. And tell me in the comments, have you dealt with any of these types of female friends? Which type costs you the most? How did you finally set boundaries or walk away? I'm a Very Scott, and I'll see you on the next.